Cuzz is going to be playing jungle Ornn like a savant.
Whoa.
But are you actually going to play Sett into Kayle and be happy about it? I'm not entirely sure, and I highly doubt that that is going to be the outcome.
Yeah, it's not going to happen that way. We are going to see jungle Sett. I know literally Sett is not very happy whenever Sett does go into the jungle. He thinks it's more of a top/support champion.
Yeah, it does require some items.
Yeah. So, we'll see how that one does work out up against the Graves there in the jungle. As Dudu, he says, let me just carry you guys. Their first time up against W1D4 Prince, I wasn't actually... You know, I actually did enjoy his play. I thought he did show some nice moments, and I thought he was a capable player. Well, this game 3 against T1, this is the perfect time to prove it.
Oh, yeah.
For real this time on the Kayle.
And T1 need to prove to us that this extraordinarily standard front-to-back composition is going to work out. The Lovers duo back again. After seeing some fringe play, I guess, and there were a lot of 80 carry bans, but with Kalista, like, Kalista Taric was available, for example. They could have just locked that in.
Yeah, true.
Whether that would have been better or worse, not entirely sure. But Kalista being picked into Ashe, not necessarily something that you want to do. So here we go. This is what they're up against. The Kayle, the Graves, the Galio, and then the Ashe, Tahm, Kench. It's giving me Praying Gorilla vibes on the bottom side of the map here for Hanwha Life, and that always makes me feel happy and sad at the same time.
Yeah. Will we ever have that kind of duo again? Such an iconic one. We have...
I mean, I think
many that are similar.
I think Deft and Carrier is starting to become similar.
Deft Mata.
Deft Mata is definitely the OG. Although when they were in China, they didn't play together. Deft and Mako were a beautiful combination on
Deft
EDG.
and anyone.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Deft's pretty good at this game.
From about 2014 onwards. But I think Hanwha Life had one of the most iconic duos in the bottom lane, and T1 did as well. I mean, Bang and Wolf, I think, will always be there in the history books as one of the best bottom lanes. Maybe not towards the very end, but certainly in their heyday.
Yeah, for sure.
And, you know, Praying Gorilla from Rocks, but also Songyun and Key from Rocks themselves, I guess, until they became Hanwha Life. As Faker is just bullying the Gargoyle just a little bit.
Yeah. So, the Sett jungle definitely does offer some pretty nice gank potential. The only thing is that once you get towards the later game, as you mentioned, it doesn't build up items or experience and levels quite as well as a solo lane. So it doesn't offer as much. You think about it in the support role, it becomes just full only tanky items and fulfills that role from there. But we'll have to see. I mean, I know that other regions are playing it now and again. They do like their Sett in general, just a great champion right now. So no surprise that the second it's not banned, it does show up here. If I look at the LCK ratings before today, it had 14 games of presence, not including the earlier series today, and it only got played twice. So it gets banned very often here in the LCK.
Don't know whether he quite deserves it. I think I'm in LS's camp when it comes to the Sett priority being a little bit strange. Even when we did see him, it wasn't super impressive. But that's okay. Cuzz moving up towards the top side. The Graves is going to find him. Smite not quite available here from Cuzz. He's just still going to wander forward and just walk in and steal away the big one. All right, all too easy.
Nice.
Would have thought maybe Graves would have gone for a little bit more as Dudu underneath his turret. I actually really like Kayle as an answer to Ornn. Just because it's fun to opt in to the greed. And Dudu, of course, wanting to get quite a few levels under his belt before he really is oppressive.
Yeah, from 1 to 6, he's not going to be super happy, but he, well, she, I suppose, Kayle, talking about here, is eventually going to, you know, get some range and be able to bully Ornn a bit. Although Ornn never truly gets bullied out of lane, anything that can sit there and farm alongside it and scale a bit better is going to feel pretty good about that. So we'll see how Dudu does do.
Dudu does do.
Yes.
Like it. I assume he does relatively well.
How he does Dududunga is very important for us. We need to figure that out. Cuzz has been very in the face of the enemy jungler so far, although Cat isn't over there. He's over, he's ready, he's waiting for the Gromp. He knows the exact timing on it. And he's just gonna go ahead, steal that away.
Yeah, in the meantime, we've got a bit of a shove here towards the bottom side. Effort and Teddy. Moving on up, ahead by a little bit of farm, but that's going to be neutralized here by Viper. As it looks like the Ashe Tahm Kench, very, very comfortable underneath this turret. Lehends looking a little bit hungry, otherwise completely fine. Volley going to slow down Teddy a little bit. Grand entrance going to be denied by the Devour. And that's how this interaction should generally go.
Yeah, we're going to see that about 20 more times in this game. They're just going to go at it down there on the bottom side. And it's part of the reason why people aren't super happy whenever they see Tahm Kench, because a lot of the time he denies action, where it's like, oh, you wanted to fight? Oh, actually, never mind. Tahm Kench is in the game. And especially when it was the Ezreal Tahm Kench and like Azir meta, it's like, you know, nobody's dying. Nobody's gonna try to go for ganks because the percentage chance that they work is so low. It's like, we'll just farm up our jungle on our tank jungler to eventually support our teammate in the late game. And yeah, I'm glad that we've kind of moved a bit away from the 2019 meta. We've expanded a bit.
Oh dear. Faker expecting Mireu to move underneath his turret. Does manage to get the cannon creep though, as Cuzz, not quite level 6, so not stopping any shows at this point. There's Canna, he is. So he's looking to try and take down Dududunga. Gets a teleport out of Mireu. He's just going to move underneath his turret and laugh it off. Cad's here looking for a dive, but he might be a little bit too early as Cuzz is going to move on over as well. And Cuzz has a level advantage on a Graves, so I don't know what went wrong. There's been some dark technology employed, but Sett is out farming and out leveling a Graves.
Yeah, we saw the steal on the top Gromp, or the Krug, and then we saw the steal on the Gromp on the right side of the map, and it's little stuff like that where Cuzz recognizes exactly what the jungle matchup is going to look like and what Graves is trying to do. That makes him a great jungler. He's got amazing jungle sense, and he has great reads on his opponents. And so he's able to get in there, steal yet another camp away. He's got the timers on these things now, and he's using that to his advantage to say, okay, you want to sit back and farm? I'm going to just try to play you at your own game and try to steal your farm, as now he's mid.
Yeah, and it looks like Canna's going to be able to grab himself a turret plate here top lane, which is pretty impressive. Just going to demolish that one, like you were talking about, Cuzz moving towards the mid lane. Mireu just going to justicely punch his way underneath this turret. And now we've got Rakan and Sett looking glorious, very anime, and looking to try and steal away a blue buff.
Yeah, very flashy champions. Got two of them.
Faker going to be here as well. Smoke screen goes down, and Cuzz is going to be able to get the smite. Steals it away from Cad. And I just don't understand how this Sett jungle is dictating the pace of the jungle against a Graves. That shouldn't be how this goes. But as it turns out, it's what's happening here in this game.
Kind of, you know, even ascending beyond the champions, it feels like veteran jungler versus rookie jungler, you know?
Yeah.
And Cuzz is proving that, hey, I'm not going to let you just have a free jungle this time around. He's being extremely proactive and aggressive everywhere on the map, and both jungles are his right now. He's taken so many camps from Graves. He's taken the Infernal Drake.
His whole jungle is full.
Yeah. How about the Rift Herald as well? It's the Cuzz land right now that we're living in.
Yep. And it's bountiful. It is definitely bountiful. As he's getting a little bit trolled by HLE here. It just keep. Okay, there we go. And okay, another knockup. As another ulti comes out from Canna as well. Cuzz is going to spot out Cad, who does still have some fight left in him. Showstopper is up. Cuzz can turn this if he would like to, but Canna's going to have to go home. No teleport available. And now Dudu's going to get some time with this turret and actually get a decent lead when it comes to experience and gold. That's going to be a lot denied. In fact, looks like Canna doesn't want to give this one up. Faker moving on over with Cuzz.
Yeah. We've been checking the bottom lane over and over here. There's just been nice pushing as, okay.
I'm not sure what that was out of Canna, but they do manage to get the snare onto Dudu. Cuzz is just going to take Sir Grompulus down. Cad's in here though, and Mireu's going to join him. Heroic entrance is available.
This is all kind of stemming from Canna being so low and refusing to back. He's been so low for so long that it's like, okay, I guess we just don't have a top laner. And he hasn't really been able to help out, especially with his ultimate down. So he's kind of just sitting up there. Finally went back. It does mean the enemy gets your blue, but you got to be happy with the way the jungle has been going with so far, and the lead that Cuzz has been able to build for himself.
Yeah, we have to remember that Faker did manage to get Dudu's flash, which is good news. It means that Cuzz can go for a wraparound gank if the Kayle is going to continue pushing. It's going to be a little bit dangerous as Faker inspires his way towards Mireu, but unfortunately smacks a minion in the face with his inner fire. Nails that one though. There we go. Trying to get some damage mitigation, but able to get at least the experience from the cannon creep. Died in front of Mireu though.
Yeah.
Want to risk it.
And T1 have just been slowly building up leads in all the lanes. This can be part of the problem when you draft lanes that are weakish, such as a Kayle or even like an Ashe, Tahm, Kench, who sometimes can have, you know, if they have an aggressive jungler, they can actually make plays happen and get aggressive. But because Cuzz has just totally made this Graves obsolete in even farming his own jungle, let alone, you know, attacking lanes, it's just been all push and aggression down on the bottom side. Like the arrow comes in and they're like, well, we can't do anything, nobody's here. Just trying to stop him from taking another plate. So bot's getting plates, mid is ahead slightly here for Faker, winning in the CS farm in that kind of, you know, snooze fest resident sleeper lane. And then of course Ornn is always going to have a fun time up against pretty much any lane, especially against a weaker lane like Kayle.
Yep, of course the idea of picking Kayle into Ornn is that they both sit back and farm generally, and you can see they both have sat back and farmed. Yeah. Canna's tried to go aggressive. We've seen some fumblings and some decent trades as Teddy wanders through this brush. It is a bit invisible at this point in time. Why isn't it there, Valdez? Where's the brush?
What?
It's gone.
What
brush come back.
What do you mean?
Whoa. All right, Faker's going to get knocked up. The Ignite down very prematurely there as Cad trying to get in range. The taunt was beautiful, and that's collateral damage right there. If ever I've seen it.
Yeah. I'm
alive. Pretty textbook.
It's great follow-up on just recognizing who's got what summoners. They say, you know, you guys might have forgotten it, but 3 minutes earlier, he flashed to try to get Dudu to flash. T1 didn't follow up on getting that summoner out of Kayle, but Hanwha followed up on Faker losing his own flash as Galio can lock you down for so long.
Yep. Well, there's the Devour doing some work there as the quickness comes in. Teleport does come out as Battle Dance used by Effort, but he's still down. Pretty low on health. There's the flash forward. Oh, the taunt max range, but the Showstopper should be able to save him. Oh, it barely does. As the arrow does snipe him out, but the Galio is going to get punished. And there's Shelly in the bottom lane as well, because she sensed a party and she wants to join. Dudu down here, but only level 9. Wants level 11 before you really start getting strong. And there we go. Charge gonna happen. And a bunch of extra gold over to Cuzz.
Just gonna gobble that up, feel pretty happy about himself. Faker, he didn't have teleport, he's just pushing, just trying to reclaim his lane after Galio made his way down to the bottom side with this teleport gank that didn't quite pan out. It was nearly the arrow snipe, which we don't often see here.
Yeah, for the kill. I like it.
The executioner's arrow, if you will. But didn't quite pan out that time around. And it was a, okay, we're going to take a look at this first. Faker, just too aggressive with no flash. I mean, he didn't see Cad, but he doesn't have, I suppose he had decent vision, but at the same time.
나이스. 예, 좀 갈렸다.
Nice.
이거 갈리면 내가 1대1 할게.
언제까지 시드로 괴롭힐 거야?
펌프 시작할게. 아, 침착하고.
이거 아래 조심해.
How long are you gonna bully me with shield? Okay, we got that real-time translation.
That's real cute. As Viper and Lehends, this was their little escapade towards the bottom side as Mireu obviously feeling something.
Viper autoed Teddy once. And if he had hit effort instead, he would have died.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can never calculate that really, but you got to be careful, you know. You got to make sure all your autos are falling in the right spot.
Hindsight is a little bit more 2020.
For sure.
But that's Teddy. Featherstorm back available relatively soon. Sort of does help you out against the arrow that can fly forward. Keep that aggression up whilst going untargetable. Certainly feels good. Steady clears out these little Krugs and will now defend his lane. Turret plates fell down 50 seconds ago, and so Viper's not able to find too much. And yeah, 7 extra turret plates going over to T1. That's why you can see a 1,000 gold lead. Not to mention 2 Drakes being picked up here in 50 seconds. We will have our third, a very early Ocean Soul possibility here for T1. If Hanwha Life don't stop them from freely taking the Ocean Drake, you'd imagine that they will definitely be in the market for trying to do that.
Yeah. I mean, you consider late game for both teams. T1's late game is not bad, but when you're going up against Kayle, Graves, Ashe, I think that team is more often than not going to be better in the late game. So Hanwha Life, they have this added pressure because they have to handle Ocean Soul, because even if your team is great in the super late game, you're going up against a team in the mid to late game who has Ocean Soul. You're not really going to win if T1 is playing their cards right. So, as you mentioned, that's really going to be the main focal point for both teams to handle. T1 would love to just roll straight into Ocean Soul really quickly.
Oh, arrow's going to land here onto Cuzz. He will have a whole bunch of grip built up, so that Haymaker is going to hurt. They do wait it out, though, as there's the heroic entrance. For some reason.
Yeah, it was kind of like, let me teleport over here or something. Didn't really help in the engage.
I guess so. Maybe they were assuming that T1 were going to go further forward. They've corralled them, though, have T1.
Ornn.
Canna makes his way into the mid lane, like you say. Dudu's on the top side. He's singing a song to himself, having a good time. He's going to be able to take that one down, but that's going to mean Soul Point goes over to T1. And I think they're very happy to give up a top outer turret in order to secure that. Hanwha Life thinking about taking down Shirley. I'm glad Shelly and Shirley stuck around. MSC, we lost Agatha and Bertha. Now we have Grompulus and Gromtilda.
The full names.
Yeah, I just give them shorter ones.
Yeah. Gromp and Gromp are my... that's usually what I like to go for.
Oh my goodness, what is that? There's no respect given. It reminds me of Sir Thomas Kench and then Timothy Kenchins. You know?
Yeah. Just Timmy.
Yep.
Timmy K.
I like Timothy Kenchins, you know.
Yeah. It has attitude, you know.
Yeah. I like giving him that added respect of at least reading out his full name.
Fair enough.
Even if he is a peasant.
We haven't seen him much in recent times. He took a little break. Maybe he was unhappy with our nicknames.
Yeah.
To practice a little bit and gain his strength back. Effort is going for a little walk here.
Yeah, we'll find himself a Kayle, who gets pinged immediately, and we'll back out. Teddy up here towards the top side of the map, just looking to try and finish off that turret, which is pretty low. Viper will take a fair bit of damage from Faker. We are in a lull state, though, guys. That's why we're talking about funny names for Gromps and things like that. As Ardent Sensor is finally built. So Faker took him a couple of games to get there, but does get there as Cuzz takes the wrong way round. Haymaker does some work as Viper's going very aggressive. Dudu versus Teddy, and Teddy just explodes him. Okay, ulti at the ready. He's saving his ulti for the Death Chamber. Interesting.
Yeah, I know we haven't seen Xayah in a long time, but you guys got to remember that her feathers do a lot of damage when there's a lot of them on the ground. That's my professional analysis for you guys right there.
Thank you very much, Valdanos.
Just underestimating the Xayah damage, and Dudu, I suppose, overestimating his own. It's hard sometimes, the split-second decisions and mechanics you gotta pull off, but these are pros, and we should hold them to a high standard.
Indeed.
Gotta make sure.
I mean, pressing an R button.
Quick on that one.
Pressing an R button, he could have done that at any point. And yeah, Teddy still had his, so I guess maybe that was the problem. He wanted to make sure he got Teddy's ultimate out and then used his in order to take him down. However, he's just gonna kill you. Doesn't actually matter. Yeah. Canna's very close to level 13, and that's gonna make Teddy even more scary.
Let's just see. Lines up the feathers really nicely. Yeah.
Interesting. We're back into some action though. That's going to stop us from having to talk about that ever again.
Yeah. Let's shelve that one.
Yep. Forever. That was some Dudu. We had the
Take it away.
We had the Dudu Dunga.
Yes.
In game 2,
and now it's just
Dudu now.
Oh,
we need the Dunga. We need the Dunga to come back. And I think that you know, Dudu is the kind of player to get better as the game goes on. Certainly happened in game number 2. We do have a small sample size for what was experienced of Dudu's play.
You know how the collective has their really funny original fake names for when players are not playing well? Well,
oh, yeah.
Dudu's already he's already given them one.
Yeah.
To,
that was not a difficult one for the
very
collective
easy
to come up
for them.
to. Yeah. Still, they did it.
Not a lot of
I'm very proud of you guys.
And then when he pops off, he's Dudu.
Yeah.
It's very simple. Straightforward. As this game might be for T1. I mean, at this point, your Xayah is just massive. And Ocean Drake, Ocean Soul point is on the line here.
In 1 minute, yeah.
1 minute. Cat is, okay. He's just going to back away.
Oh, we bought boots twice. No, never mind. That's Viper's items. Earlier Blade of the Rune King for Viper did okay there, but the Infinity Edge coming in is, that's real scary news, as he is ahead by a lot of gold. And it's going to mean that this Ocean Soul fight is very, very scary. Grand entrance is fantastic. Faces broken everywhere as the showstopper puts Cat into the backline. He flashes, trying to get to safety, and there is a brilliant Devour to make sure he survives. But honestly, I feel like that was the battle that actually lost them the war. Because now positional advantage around this Ocean Drake spawning in 20 seconds is going to entirely belong to T1. Hanwha Life, an opportunity to regroup. But the volleys aren't doing anything. T1 feels like they have Hanwha exactly where they want them. Teddy laying down the feathers. Lehends is at half health. Dudu as well, as Faker is landing a lot of poke. In goes the Grand Entrance. Good zoom there onto Effort, as that's a 3-man taunt from Mireu. Gets the ulti out of Dudu as well, but the stopwatches are there. And look, just watch Teddy auto-attacking.
Oh?
Real scary. Oh? Now we're watching him just get murdered. Taken down by the Kayle. I am very sorry for jinxing it, as the low health bars, you can understand exactly why he got baited, as Cuzz is going to Hex Splash over. Try and take down Cat. Another Grand Entrance, interrupting the Blast Cone. That's the jungler. His teleport back in now from Mireu. He still has his heroic entrance available. Canna is pretty tanky, but I don't know whether he's tanky enough. Great ult into the backline there from Faker. Yep, Cuzz looks for the Haymaker, but there's the Grand Entrance. Cuzz gets the Face Breaker in there. The Inspire Shield is gigantic. And T1 are buying so much time. It's 5 seconds and Teddy is back up again. And now Hanwha have to back away. That was the weirdest fight.
That was really strange, actually. Hanwha did have a fantastic engage onto Teddy, honestly, in the river with the Kayle ultimate on top of Galio, who threw himself in there and taunted.
Why is this happening?
But to extend it that far with the Galio TP and then not stick around at least to try to contest the Ocean Soul, because once you lose it, I mean, this is the play I'm thinking of, where Galio gets in the backline with the Kayle ultimate. They nearly burst down Teddy entirely, and not as much damage is given the other way, so they reset. And then actually a great play here by Viper, where he slows down Teddy, who has pretty much nothing.
He had a bit of a rush of blood to the head, exactly as I was talking about Teddy doing a lot of damage. So
yeah,
a bit sad.
Cad made a little bit of a oopsie there. He shouldn't be trying to go for the for the plant that slows you down when he doesn't know where the vision is over the wall. And then they try to re-engage here with the Mireu re-entrance, but Rakan is a little bit better at that. And then you're thinking, oh man, they're pretty close here. But at the end of the day, they're like, oh, actually, Faker's full health. I guess we all have to back away and give them Ocean Soul. I'm like, I don't know. I think you guys should have at least tried. But as you did mention, Teddy was coming up in 5 seconds.
Well, there's a grand entrance. That's a dead Lehends. Face broken. And now the turret is going to suffer the same fate. Meanwhile, picture-in-picture, you may have noticed that Viper and Teddy traded ultimates. And T1 now have Ocean Soul. So maybe it's just game over.
Yes.
As in goes Cuzz. Okay, is he going to stop the show? Are we ever? No, we're not. No show. No stopping the show. No making the hay.
No.
Not doing anything. We're just going to run in and die, I guess. This game's weird.
Yeah.
Still. He likes Hex Flash, I think. I don't know.
It's pretty good on the jungle set, I'll have to say. This is just Lehends out of position. Well done by effort. Able to get in there. Pretty straightforward. And then the follow-up, you can understand what he's going for. He goes behind the wall. He's like, oh, I should be able to get behind Cad here. And he kind of messes up the angle and gets taunted and dies. So, again, another bit of a whoopsie. We've had a bit of those. It's getting late here in Korea. It's about 11:30. Perhaps the players are getting a little bit fatigued as the games come along.
Yeah. And it was a very good taunt. Very good taunt out of Mireu as well. So not a lot of options there for Cuzz, so I might have been a little bit mean, but still, not exactly the play you necessarily need to make. Be a little bit more reserved than that, as Teddy got a bunch of gold. He's 2,000 in the lead, just soaking up more and more farm on this map. And the Baron possibly going to be the next port of call for T1. Elder Drake going to be spawning in 3 minutes' time. They've got Ocean Soul, so you may as well just go for as many fights as possible. Molten Edge completed onto Teddy. And Faker going to go for his Rabbidan's Death Cap as item number 3. And that is just going to mean that he'll do a heck of a lot of extra damage and shielding, more importantly. But then he can also get the best upgrade from the ornament.
So, you consider the game state right now we're at, okay, never mind.
I think Viper's just going to be dead. Quick just comes down. Viper pops like a balloon. Lehends is going to get visited by a big ram that gets quite upset. Cuzz gets exhausted, but he doesn't care. Stops the show.
Okay.
And the Xayah is going to take him down. So maybe no Baron required, as Teddy just tanks up this turret in front of a Kayle and isn't able to take it down just yet. But as you can see, with the help of Faker, he'll have all of that health back. And Hanwha alive, not sure what they're going to be able to do here. Collateral damage just to try and take down the minion wave, but they've got a bit of health left on this siege minion, and that's all they need to be able to lock this one down. Canna looks for the knock-up through the wall. That was actually pretty cute. Doesn't work though, as Cad is just going to have to walk out of there. They're just ignoring Dudu. It's like he's invisible.
Yeah, he's still 2 levels away.
Mr. Seller Kayle. Fane.
Yeah.
That was a Chicago joke. I don't know whether I'm going to go for one of those again.
Not your audience.
Yeah.
Not the right audience.
Not everyone's a boomer like me.
Yeah. Well,
although the stage show was very recently out, and it was actually quite good. This is Viper dying.
I mean, you don't have vision in your own jungle. You can't be that far up. It's been a while since we've seen Rakan. Maybe he didn't expect that amount of speed to come in, but I mean, he doesn't have flash, and I don't know where Lehends was exactly. He got there a little bit too late. Maybe he was just saying, okay, I have Tahm Kench, I should be fine, but the rapidity with which the Rakan gets in there is a little bit too fast for the slower Tahm Kench to catch up with. And then he gets baited into the fight, he dies. And then Galio gets baited into the fight, he dies. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's the flow-on effect of just disaster mounting on top of disaster. Gold lead's still under 4,000, actually, somehow. As Kayle has been farming very well in these side lanes. And it seems like Cat has still been able to get around and find himself some farm. But I'm looking at this, this Xayah. Blast from the past. course, you know, this was one of Teddy and Effort's scariest combos that they've ever had together. Not a bad option to go for when they are finally reunited. Did Teddy spend some time with another support? But I want Canna to move over towards Faker, upgrade that hat, and then T1 end the game.
That's the, yeah, that's
Cad
the plan.
might just die. Okay, Battle Dance comes in. That's a phenomenal grand entrance to lock down that kill. And Teddy just walked up to 3 people and killed one of them, and now he has full health as he walks away.
He's pretty fit at this point.
That's 4 people this time. We're upgrading.
Flashed in.
Yep. Faker going to try and lock them down. Effort takes half of his health bar, but is able to get out. The exhaust, will that stop Teddy? I don't think so. Lehends just gets taken down. Now Dudu, I don't know, he had the opportunity to ult, decided that that wasn't a good opportunity, and Cuzz is trying to show us the power of jungle Sett as he solos down this Elder Drake. Valdez, I hazard to say, this game's over.
The game has ended. Close up the shops. Close up the doors. I don't think that Hanwha are going to be able to stop this massive push of Elder and Baron. We talked about their late game potential, and Kayle is close to 16. But is that enough to hold off this amount of value? I don't believe so.
Oh my god, he called the flash.
Okay.
I don't know whether he meant that, but it was cool.
I think he did.
All right, write down that pog. Write down that pog for me on your sheet.
Yeah,
yep,
Canna,
there you go.
no.
Yeah, perfect. Nailed it.
He's not this game. I can give my check mark to Teddy already.
Yeah, that's true. I think you can actually feel free to write that down.
Yeah, actually, I will.
Yeah. Although Canna did just give Faker a really cool hat.
Great.
That was that's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
Doing my best LS impression. Great.
Well, T1 are now going to take a Baron for free. Cuzz is going to spend some time stopped for a moment.
Okay.
That won't deter him.
Yeah. No, with Elder for a minute and a half longer. You can see that Hanwha's only choice is to send Kayle to a solo lane. As we got a little level up sign there next to Kayle.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, that's because that's a good level up. Now she's ascended. Bit too little too late at this point. Elder Drake's still going to be active for another minute. They use the Elder to move into the Baron, and they'll use that to move into both of these side lanes. Inhibitor dead for another 45 seconds or so. And so that will be coming back up just in time for T1 to roll on down and destroy it again.
Yeah. If I had to take a look at this game and somebody asked me, do you want to take the level 16 Kayle with her current items or the level 17 Teddy Xayah with his items? Who would you choose? I think the answer is pretty obvious. I don't think that the Kayle, it doesn't matter how hyper-scaly of a champion she is, I don't know who would be able to stand up to this Xayah right now.
Especially when his R button seems to be disabled.
Yes.
Now, oh, no, pressed it.
Okay.
Tower. A little bit wasted there as the Ram looks for the Kayle. Isn't able to find her. So just as I say it, at least Dudu does keep himself alive with that ulti, but has to use everything. And now, that inhibitor going down, doors have been opened as Cad, I think he was there, not entirely sure, as the Zhonya's is used by Mireu. He'll be eaten a little bit later. That's the double kill. This is going to be the triple. Are we going to be able to get the penta for Teddy? Lehends is going to go golden, buying some time here.
They want to
Teddy
give it to
should
him.
be able to take down the Tahm Kench. As now Viper's just running for the hills. Oh, I think it's the rest of his team, by the way, that's telling him that he needs to get the penta. And Teddy's just like, nah, I don't really mind.
We're going to lock him down. Wait, no, Teddy. Okay, well, they got the kill at least.
There we go. That was Viper's fault, 100%.